given a pop quiz in my life. However, I do have a pop quiz at the end. So I'm going to tell you what's on it so you can all get A's. I want two things that you heard today that you either learned new or that you're going to be inspired to actually take into your life and make a commitment to doing that. And one opportunity for me to improve my presentation. Now, mind you, there's not a lot of space on there, but you can write on the back, and you can also just drop your email, and I'll be happy to, or you could email me the long list of improvements. Just one though, just one. So inspiration is going to come from inside, okay? Now, I have always been a healthy person. I come from a really long line of healthy people. Think that's awesome. However, there have been times in my life where I lost that. I didn't have the health that I wanted or desired. I've had a couple of bouts of meningitis where I was in hospital with tubes coming out of me, would not even call my family to say I was going to live because they weren't sure. Lucky for me, I did survive with all my limbs, my mom likes to remind me, and the prescription that rather than, you know, inject me with what I'm missing, I just have to eat right, exercise, and get enough sleep. Like, that's the best prescription ever. So could I do that? Do you think that, you know, if I know it means my life, and I have children that I love, that I can do that every day? Well, I try, but how many people sometimes try to do things, and then they don't actually do them? Right? Okay, so I'm not alone here. Thank you for sharing that. So there are so many things that I think that we can all do to improve, like the breath. We have a few people here that missed that. Let's just do another one. I really can. Am I the only one who can feel like the life in you when you do that and you deep breathe? Okay, so it's really something important, and yet nobody really teaches that at school. Okay, so I came out.
Excuse me.
What that she's doing over there? Are you getting an extra deep breath?
You said nobody teaches it in school.
Oh.
We have witnesses that they know that it's taught in school.
I will vouch for that. She does teach that.
Nice.
Deep breathing?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Bravo.
Breathing.
Bravo.
It's most days in class.
So I know that one of the teachers actually did some meditation in their classes to get everybody to just be in a nice, calm place.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And so, so let me put you guys on the spot then. If you've been taught, and you now know that cancer cannot live in an oxygen-rich environment, and you've been taught to deep breathe, how many people in the morning take a nice, big, fresh breath of air? Stretch.
I do. Yeah.
Really? Okay, what about lunchtime? Anybody do it at lunchtime? In the cafeteria? No? What about before you go to bed? Well, you're a good girl. We're going to have to take a leaf out of
She
your
practices what she preaches.
That's good.
I have to be a good girl. Yeah.
Well, exactly. We all really, I mean, it's not even just for us and to make our life better and to feel that energy, but we have family that love us. We have children, parents, students. And so I think it's really important that we take the time to recognize that we are here as a gift to the people in our life, and they really count on us and love us and want us to be there. And so it's really, it's kind of flipped on its head. I know a lot of people say, you know, oh, I'll take care of you, baby. You know, I'll look after you and whatever. You can't really do that. I mean, you can't make anything better for somebody else. They have to do it for themselves. It's just like the push-up I was talking about. I mean, you know, Sally could do push-ups for me, and I would love that. But it is not going to work these guns at all. I'm still going to have those kinko wings flapping. So I've heard something that was just the opposite, and it said, I'll take care of me for you if you will take care of you for me. I mean, think about that. That means that if I don't drink my water, then that's going to be a detriment to somebody else. And it's true, because if something happened to me because I wasn't eating properly and some unforeseen circumstance happened, then they would be without me. And so as children, young adults, almost adults, I have to get my numbers right here, think about when you're driving, when you're going to college, when you're doing those things that are so fun. Really, we know it's fun. But you have to think about the consequences of your actions and how they're going to affect other people in your life. And so you want to make sure that you're being very safe, or, just like me, be chicken. Like, do that? I don't know what's going to happen to me. I'll watch you do, though. But I'm going to stay safe. And so I have another thing that I was thinking about is, I just thought my mom was a nuisance. Like all my life, I just thought my mom, what does she know? And, we were never allowed to drink during our meal. How many people like a glass of wine? Not you guys. Or soda or water while they're eating, right? I mean, it's just something we do. Well, it turns out, and I think we all probably know this, raise your hand if you actually do, that if you drink while you eat, you dilute the digestive juices and enzymes in your mouth and in your gut to actually process the food properly. Did you all know that?
No.
No? You didn't know that?
No.
Okay, good. Well, then you're learning something new today. You got something to put on your form.
That's right.
If you chew, I mean, you know how they say you're supposed to chew? You've heard this. I think you've heard it. 32 times, right? You're supposed to chew 32 times? I tried to chew 32 times. There's like nothing in your mouth. It's like water. It's like, wait a minute, don't go down. I have to finish chewing before I can swallow that. And so your teeth break down your food, and the enzymes in your saliva break down your food. And then when it goes into your belly, there's other things there to break it. I mean, sometimes you swallow things without really chewing them all the way, and then you get these, I'm going to call them plumbing noises, right? They're like, all kinds of creaking and cracking going on down there. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, right? Sometimes it happens when you're hungry, because you're like, wait a minute, we get any food around here? I'm getting hungry. Whatever you do, don't chew gum at that point, because chewing gum makes your body think food's coming, and it tricks you, but the food's not coming. So where was I? Oh yes, so you don't want to dilute the juices in your belly or in your mouth, because they need to be there to break down the food so that it can get all the nutrients from the food that you are partaking in. And if you don't get any nutrients from the food, it's just a waste of time. I think of corn. I'm sure y'all know the story about corn, but it kind of looks just the same. I'm thinking, why did I bother? Right? So we want to get the nutrients from our food. So what you want to do is definitely drink a half hour before you eat, because it's important to have lots of, hydration. However, sort of 10-15 minutes before you eat, definitely 10-15 minutes after you eat, don't drink anything. Just let your body do what it needs to do to process the food and get all the nutrients from it. That's another kind of tip. If you don't believe me, you can Google it. But so I just thought my mom was being a pain, not letting us drink, because sometimes you get thirsty. You need to get that food down. But again, if you're chewing it all the way, then you really don't need it. It's just when you want to, I don't know, I guess at the time I was a kid, I don't like peas so much. You just want to swallow them down. Actually, just shoot them across the table. Stick them in the napkin. My mom would pick it up, the whole thing would go on the floor. I don't know how they got in there. But I didn't like vegetables so much. How many people like vegetables? Really, you don't like vegetables?
Sorry.
The green ones?
Depends on the vegetable.
Yeah.
That's true. And how they're cooked, right? If you cook a vegetable in a delicious way, smother it with all that cheese on it, boy, you don't even taste them though they're down there. But definitely, I was thinking as well that all the junk that we eat, and we all know we eat junk, right? Stuff that has colors and chemicals and fried and, all the good stuff, right? It's not really the fact that we eat all that that's the problem. It's the fact that we don't eat all the good stuff that we should eat. I mean, if you had an apple every day, what happens?
Doctor stays away.
Exactly, right? Eat a doctor. Eat a doctor.
Be quite the experience. Be quite the experience.
It would, right?
It's
No.
not so good for you.
Apple a day keeps a doctor away. And it's actually scientifically proven, just kind of like, the chicken soup with the cold, we have researchers them hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to do all this great research. And of course, you guys are lucky enough to have Google. And Google will tell you anything you want to know. And so what I'm going to say is if you ate more of the healthy foods, and when I think of a food, and you know how you want to read the package for all the ingredients in that, well, my food is the ingredient. You know, when I'm making a salad, like I had today at church, I had a salad before I came over. It was like leafy greens, mixed greens, and I had some avocado, by the way, it was perfect. And some almond butter and some hummus. And, you know, the hummus was chickpeas crushed up with, you know, I don't know, salt or something, garlic as well. And so that is the ingredients. I mean, all those things you cannot name. Your body really doesn't know what to do with that. Kind of says, I don't know. I don't know what that aspartame stuff is. Never heard of it before. Do we all know what aspartame is? It actually started out as ant poison. Did we know that?
Jeez.
And it was sweet, so they'd bring it back home, and then everybody would eat it, and they'd all die. And of course, the researchers realized that, you know, hey, if it's sweet, doesn't have any, you know, calories, we should put that in food because people will eat that, and it will be good because then they don't have any sugar or, you know, calories from that. My grandmother, very, very long time ago, said, they're coming out with this new thing, don't ever have it, because it brings on epileptic fits if you are going to have them later in life or somewhere down the road. So I would just say, if you had to have sugar, honey, right, or, you know, actual sugar is better than the sugar replacements because your body just doesn't know what to do with that. And then, you know, it wants to keep it away from your internal organs, so it sticks it in the left hip. It says, okay, I don't know what to do with that. Let's just hold on to that somewhere and keep it away. And then not many people detox, right? How many people actually flush their system with any kind of regularity where you want to get all the toxins out? Anybody? No? No? Well, if you did, you would find that your skin would be a bit clearer, you would be feeling healthier, you might flush all of those fat cells away. When you start eating healthier, I mean, I probably neglected to tell you this, but the kind of 3-month time frame where I started breathing and drinking water, just breathing 5 times a day and drinking my water, I have to say it took me a while to get up to the 64 ounces that they say. I actually lost weight just from doing that. I had put on a boatload of weight after I had my hip surgery. I'm not going to say it wasn't my fault. I knew I was sitting there for 5 months doing nothing, and I was just like troughing. And so, and then I got back to work, and I was working, and it just didn't come off. And I'm like, okay, that's not good. I mean, you know, nobody can tell on my frame, you know, if I put on 20 pounds one way or the other because, you know, well, you're all covered up and stuff. But I knew. And being a woman of a certain age, I wasn't willing to believe that it just was never going to come off again because I'm 50-odd. No. And so I just took the bull by the horns and I said, that's it. And so I definitely made some changes. Changes that are hard to stick with. You know, I kind of removed grains from my diet. Really. Everything is grains. Right? Bagels, cereal, rice, quinoa. I mean, you know, all the good stuff. And
Quinoa's not actually a grain.
I know, but for some reason it has the same effect. It's I know it's a great source of protein for vegans.
What is quinoa?
It's
I mean, I know what it is, but what is it if it's not a grain?
It's like a berry or something.
Huh, okay, 'cause it's like in the sea.
Back on the list, yeah, etymologically.
Yeah. It's
Well,
yummy.
for me, it's the effect that it has on my body. And, you know, over the weekend, we saw Sam. I had some sushi. All right, I had 3 rolls of sushi. So, you know, there was quite a lot of rice in there, but I was like, and out it comes. I'm like, okay, how are you doing? It's bad. And if you look at what they say about grains, I mean, more and more people are saying that it's not a healthy thing to have. And again, if you're going back to your 6 million year ago self, you know, where you're a hunter-gatherer, you know, nobody actually planted and had rice because you were moving all the time. And it was literally made for the masses so that you could actually feed everybody, and if you're going to stay in one spot. And so our bodies haven't really adjusted to that. And I'm sure if anybody did the experiment like me, and I don't advise you to do it because you'll be sad with the results. It's kind of how I became a vegan, because I stopped doing dairy for a month. Just said, well, let's see what happens. And then my body went, yeah, don't do that again. It's not easy. All these choices are things that I recommend you experiment with for yourself. Try it and see. I would love to hear your results. If it's something that that you find is beneficial to your body, I definitely think if you breathe more, you're going to have a benefit. And if you drink more water, surely that's going to be something that helps. Oh my gosh, I said, have I been doing that a lot?
No, you're doing great.
Okay, good. Thank you. So let's just talk for a minute about the mental, since she's given me some, what do you call that? Bucket filling, right? You kids taught us that. Be a bucket filler. So you fill my bucket. Smiling. Do you know? Just let's all put a little smile on there for a minute. Pretend that's a pencil and you put it in your mouth. Go on. Okay? Alright, so you all got it on there. Just keep it for a minute. I'm going to tell you why it has to be a minute. But while I tell you, it's the research, okay? Researchers said, we don't believe for 1 minute that smiling actually does anything to benefit people. So they made people hold a pencil in their mouth, just like you're doing, for 1 minute. And they actually found that the chemicals in their body changed. And they had more of the good chemical than the bad chemical. I don't know which ones they are. Cortisol, right?
Endorphins.
Yes, all those good things. So do the research, check it out, see if it actually makes you feel better. Oh, it hurts you? Okay, you haven't been smiling too much. If your smile hurts, and you know you use less muscles to smile than you do to frown. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's easier on your face, and it makes you look better. Of course, you have to then deal with these things here, because you get those smile lines, I'm going to call them.
Beautiful.
They are beautiful. And so affirmations. One of the things that's really important for you guys when you're young and when you're older is to say positive things to yourself. Okay? You don't want to hear what I've been saying to myself working up to this talk. Those were not the things I'm talking about. Okay? But we definitely want to think good things, because you would never, I mean today, the kids today are brought up in such a nice way, right? Nobody is mean to their friends. They always say nice things, see? And so they've been taught to fill people's buckets. And yeah, okay, they go home and they shoot the heck out of their brother's bucket or sister's bucket, because that's what they do. But if you think about what you say to yourself, I mean, we all know. I can demonstrate some. What the heck are you doing? You're so stupid. How could you do that? Why would you possibly book a talk in front of all these people? What are you going to say? You're an idiot. Okay? It's not a good thing. And so you want to focus on the positive, and you want to say, well, look at all these wonderful people who are so nice to take some time out of their day and to come and be with me. And so I really want to thank you again for doing that. And so mental health is really important. You can think about all the things in the day that you're grateful for. I mean, I've been listening to some talks, and there are people, you know, without limbs, okay? I can't even remember all their names, but this guy's got a little drumstick. No arms, no legs. And he's a motivational speaker.
Wow. And
he gives everybody a hug. And he's so grateful for his little chicken drumstick, he calls it. And, you know, back in the day when you had the phones that you had to lift off, he was able to smack the phone. And I'm thinking, this guy is traveling the world, and he's telling people about fantastic things that he's doing, and here's me. Everything in the world. And what do I do with it? Nothing, right? All right. I kind of helped bring up two fantastic human beings, but mostly that was Gary's job. I was just not trying to break them. That was my job. Don't break them while I'm off at work. For the 2 hours you've got them. And so I think that the more that we have stacked against us is more of the time that people sort of rise up and say, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to do something with this. But it's very difficult for us who are kind of leading the lap of luxury. I mean, really, the fact that we're in this room, we're living in this town, You guys, how many people appreciate Averill Park? Oh my gosh. There are some fantastic things going
It's
on
kind of
in
like-
this neighborhood. You know, that don't really happen in other towns. And so we have a great opportunity to make a difference in the world. But we won't do that, right? Because it's much easier to just turn on TV and watch, I don't know, let's name a show, Shark Tank, right? Somebody else is trying to live their dream, right? You know, I want this thing for the airplane, so we each get our own armrest. Okay. But if there's something in you that you feel that you need to do, I'm going to say that it's really, no one's going to be able to do that for you but you. So you need to pump yourself up. You need to say that this is something that I have in me and I want to do and I want to make the world a better place, so therefore I've got to do it. And so to take baby steps. Let's just talk about the financial thing for a moment, because it's not going to be cheap to travel or to carry out our dreams as we get older. How many people actually know that, okay, there's a certain amount of money in your paycheck, right? Let's call that 100% of your paycheck. That in order to be independently wealthy by the time you retire or sometime sooner, that you should pay yourself first, okay? Does anybody know what that means, pay yourself first? Okay? That means you take a certain percentage out of your pay and stick it in the bank, and that's your money. That's your dream. That's for your future. They have some crazy statistic that if you're 20 years old and you put $100 in the bank, I believe it's a month, and stop when you're 30. Never put another penny in. You're going to have like $1 million in the bank, and yet if you started when you're 30, putting it in the bank until you're 65, you won't ever get anywhere near that because of compound interest. So compound interest is like the eighth wonder of the world. Was that Albert Einstein said that? Yes? Somebody?
I thought it was George Soros, but who knows?
Okay, it's somebody important. And so what it means is you put money in the bank and hopefully you get a decent interest rate. And that money will compound over time because it's just sitting there waiting for you when you need it. And you're not going to need it. Don't think you're going to take it out early for any other reason than to enjoy your dream, whatever that is. So, and then the other 10% or whatever number you choose, in the beginning, if you owe people money, it's probably going to be 1% for you, 1% for charity, and 1%, you know, to your creditors or whatever, and you got to live on the rest. But you want to make it so that the numbers continually increase until you get to about 10, 10, and 10. If you can give 10% away, because again, you're probably richer than 95% of the planet. If you think about the planet as a whole, there are people that don't have food on a regular basis, or water, or TVs, or homes, or whatever. And so, you know, there's definitely a place where you can sort of say, I can put this amount away. And certainly you want to save for yourself as well, and then giving to charity. So that is one little step in the financial direction. Mentally, we talked about, right, giving yourself the thumbs up. Good job, you survived, you did it. And pumping up your friends. And of course, we talked about health and making sure that you eat right, exercise, get enough sleep. Okay, this is something that I'm not sure if you guys realize, you probably do realize, but like where you are today, like not physically, but yes, physically, like in this room, but health-wise and financially wise and mentally wise, it's because of choices that you made. So you made the choice to come here today, or to sit at home and do that thing, Xbox or whatever, right? Or you made the choice that you were going to eat, you know, something healthy today as opposed to eating something that wasn't so healthy. And so you are the accumulation of your choices. And so when you go down the road, there's going to be a point where all of those maybe less than perfect choices will stack up. Just like if you make good choices, they're going to stack up. And there's going to be a point where there's a radical difference. I mean, you know, you guys are just, you know, Bob and Joe, okay? Just going to pick you guys out now. Bob decides to, you know, drink one glass of water today and not one soda. And Joe decides that he's going to have, you know, an extra glass of soda, mean, you know, it's a silly example, but you get the point. One little thing every day. The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson talks about just one thing. Just one thing. I wasn't doing any exercise, but I could at the time. This was my birthday a couple of years ago. I was in DR. And I read the book, so I decided I was going to do one push-up. I felt really stupid because I could do 10, but it was just one thing. So I did one push-up. And that was 0.03% of, I don't know, of the total. So the next day, you're supposed to do 2 things. So I did 2 push-ups. Now I did 0.06%. He claimed that at the end of a year, you would have 100% total transformation. I thought, okay, so 3rd push-up, 4th push-up. At the end of the month, I'm doing 30 push-ups. So I'm thinking, okay, that's a little boring. So now I'm going to do a sit-up. So I did 30 push-ups and a sit-up. Well, at the end of the month, I'm doing 30 push-ups and 30 sit-ups. And then I'm doing 30 lunges. And I'm doing 30 squats. And then it's like 45 minutes. I'm never going to get to bed. I'm going to do it. And then wall sits, you know, with the ball. That's a really cool one. And so this was all because it was winter and I wasn't doing any exercise. Of course, then summer came and we went to England and I started doing my running and whatnot. And that dropped off. But the idea is that if you just do one choice for yourself today, and then tomorrow just add one thing to it. It's very simple, and really nobody can say, and you know, I got my family to do it. Okay, do a push-up. I said, right, do a wall push-up then, you know. All right? Pretty simple. Anybody can do that. And then you can work your way up to, or down to, the floor and getting a real push-up in. And that's just one way that you can improve your health. So we're breathing, we're drinking more water, we're doing some push-ups and sit-ups and squats. We're going to maybe save a little bit of money on the side. I know it seems hard, but just think about, you know, one thing that you can live without. You know, maybe it's a Starbucks or, you know, the latest game or whatever. Oh, another thing that I also tried, I'm not really good with chopsticks. How many people here have used chopsticks? Are you really good at chopsticks? No. Well, I don't want to look like a fool in a Chinese restaurant, and I had heard that if you use chopsticks, it will slow you down when you eat.
Yeah.
Of course it is, right? Because you can't pick anything up. And so every Saturday morning when I make pancakes from scratch for the children, I have my chopsticks. It's my opportunity to, because, you know, pancakes, they got syrup on them. And I'm like, oh, right in there. It's really good. And I want to eat them because they're really good. So it gives me the opportunity to just slow down. And so we all heard, I think we've heard, raise your hand if you've heard, that it takes 20 minutes for your brain to actually know that you're full and to stop eating.
Right. Yeah.
So if you're eating slower because of the chopsticks, it's just going to tell you you're full, a bit more on track than you normally would. Another trick that I used, and these are just simple, stupid things that I came up with. I don't know if they're true or not, but try it and let me know. Bread plate, nighttime. Kids were about, I thought it was 6, so we had the little utensils around. And this is how I got this idea. I'm going to the book club, and you know, I'm constantly like woofing it in so fast, I got to eat the second helping because I didn't even taste the first one. I'm like, could I eat that with my plate? And so I thought, okay. And the book club ladies were like, tell me more about that. And I'm like the only one who's taken seconds and scoffing, and they're all, you know, they didn't have children, so they were a little older than I was. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're tasting their food. They're like enjoying their food. So I tried that. And I used the little baby utensils, and I tasted the food, and it was amazing. My husband, big plate food, huge gap like that. I got this little teeny bread plate. And I'm eating, taking my time. He's finished his whole plate of food. I still look like I haven't started. I lost about 25 pounds doing that. Because, again, I was eating before 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. I'd brush my teeth, and I'd be done when my stomach said, oh, I'm hungry, grumble, grumble. I said, good, left hip. You're on it tonight. I'm going to sleep, you know. And so, what else did I do? Okay. I just want to say that we only have one life, right? All of us are only here for a brief moment in time. And when I look at each and every one of you, I have a special relationship with some of you, as you know, right? Glendora. Olga, Bridget, Abby. I think I actually have a little bit of a special relationship with each and every one of you. But think about the effects that your life have on people. I mean, it's difficult for you to say, oh, well, you know, Mrs. Holden, you know, we smushed together during a concert and she helped push me up so I could see who was singing, right? But there are memories in this room for being in this neighborhood and for being here. And you're special to so many people outside of this realm. I mean, even people you don't know. I mean, I have this habit of smiling and waving at random strangers. I'm not kidding. It's 15 years ago, I started working at Pittsfield, and people are allowed, you know, we have right of way here. You got to be at a crosswalk, right? But they're just allowed to jaywalk, as I'll call it from New York. And so, like, little old lady, like, I'm doing 40, and she steps out in front of me. I'm like, what the heck? And she's going like that to me, and I said to somebody, hey, man, what's the story with this little old lady, man? And they're like, oh, they have the right of way. I'm like, oh, okay. So you have to be very, very careful in Pittsfield. So I wave, and I acknowledge everybody. See me here? I'm driving. You're going to stay there on the corner? Okay, good. You stay right there, because I don't want to run you over. And so there are people that you affect when you smile and wave. I have stories of people that I smile and wave to that, you know, they see you. They know, and you put a smile on your face. I feel like if you smiled and waved at 10 people a day, and they smile back, that's just one instance that you've made someone's life better. You don't know how that ripple effect happens. He might just feel a little bit happier, or she might just go home and get a little, you know, perk in her step to like make dinner, because, you know, people in the world are nice. And so, again, you have family, you have friends, you have yourself. Your life is going to be so much better if you're happy and you smile. I mean, I think about, like, if I'm miserable, and I do get miserable. Sometimes I'm like, hey, man, I don't even know why I'm miserable, but just look at it. But that is one moment that I have spent not being happy, not being thrilled, not being, like, so happy to be on this planet. And so we're very, very lucky to have the life that we have, and in whatever state it's in, there are ways that you can improve it to make it better. And, you know, I used to tell my grandmother, you know, 93 years old, you know, I'm like, Grandma, in the commercials, just stand up for a second and sit back down. Just think, you know, you'll have like 4 times you'll stand up and sit down. I mean, every little baby step matters. And so you are a blessing to the people in your life. You're a blessing to me that you came. I'm sorry, I probably didn't do all those things I was supposed to do. And I hope that I shared enough that maybe there's 1 or 2. You got to do 2 things. Okay. 2 things.
Can we do more? More than 2?
You can. You have a back.
Overachiever.
Now,
At least one Bridget, there's always.
Now, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, look, I was good. I actually thought I needed 10 people, and I put 11 pens out there because it's Sally's favorite number, and I left 1 for Elijah. And so 1 person doesn't have, oh, you got 1. You're cool. So this is your pop quiz, okay? I need you to do 2 things that you learned, something new. I didn't put slash something you're going to do because I didn't want to force you guys to actually have to say I'm going to do something. But please, if you will try and experiment, I would love for you to put 1 or 2 things that you are going to try your best to do. I'm going to pass this out while I'm talking. And the last line is for how I can improve the presentation. I'm never going to do a presentation again. I just want you to know you don't have to worry about that. I am not a public speaker, but it was an online class that I had to take, and this was the final exam. So I hope it wasn't too much torture.
It was wonderful.
What was the online class?
It was it was called Lisa Nichols Speak and Inspire, and it really, the reason I took the class was because I have a problem with my voice, and I say things that people think I'm being sarcastic when I'm really being serious. My family thinks, you know, what the heck, you know? So I wanted to actually learn how to communicate better with them, and I'm not really doing that well with that either. But I have all the material to improve, and so I will definitely make sure to do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And while you're all doing that, I'll just think about posture. Do you know how many pounds you lose just from standing up straight and not actually the least of it is the fact that your bones are getting crushed by being all, compounded on each other. So if you stand up taller, your shoulders are back, you can actually not only look better, but you'll feel better because you look better. So thank you so much for coming.
Good job.
Thank you, Glendora. Glendora has the longest running public access show ever, and
In the world.
in the world. Seriously, over 44,000 shows, Glendora? Or is it 45,000?
Wow.
What did you say, years?
No, how many programs have you?
Oh, 11,700 at the moment.
11,700. So you've been doing it for 44 years,
46, yeah.
46 years. All right, my numbers are not that good. I was close. Now, I don't know anything about this exhibit over here, but it says, please help yourself to a button. So I feel like the consolation prize for being here is to support their efforts and take a button.
I thought you're not supposed to do that kind of negative self-talk.
I was going to say, I'm going to write down, stop apologizing.
Did everybody sign in? If you didn't sign in, I would
not.
love for you to do that just so I can have proof that I actually had live people in my talk. Did it not work?
Sorry, we got it.
Oh, you did? Okay. I'll send the attendance sheet around in case.
Anybody want to hear a joke?
Yes,
Yeah,
Glendora,
sure.
we love your jokes.
Hey, Daddy, what is college bread? Daddy, a 4-year loaf made out of the old man's dough.
Oh.
Do you want a name on these?
If you want to put a name, you might certainly well do.
No, I want her to fill it out for me.
I will.
You fill it out for me, honey?
What's 2 things you learned?
And the devil challenged St. Peter to a baseball game. And St. Peter says, well, I don't see how you're going to win. All the good players are up here. The devil says, all of the umpires are down here.
Tell the one about the boy that was made out of parsley, sage, and breadcrumbs.
Mummy, am I made out of parsley, breadcrumbs, and sage? No, why? Billy says he's going to beat the stuffing out of me.
I love Glendora's jokes.
Thank you. Is that everybody? Thank you.
You make out mine for me, honey. Well attended. Okay.
Thank you,
Well
Sally.
presented.
Thank you so much for coming.
Well received.
Do you want me to take it for you? Or are you going to sign it? Thank you so much. Oh, you collected them. You guys are too good. So what are
Did
you
you
guys
learn
all going to
anything?
do with the rest of your day?
Did
Thank
you learn
so much.
anything?
I'm going to a birthday party.
Did you learn anything?
Yeah.
You want to tell me one thing you learned?
Oh, one thing I learned?
Here you go.
To
You're going to eat slower? That's good.
eat healthy?
What are you going to do? Eat slower? Well, let me know how...
And do you want to say, is there anything you could say that would help her to know how to improve her presentation for the next time?
I did the verbal highlighting that I wish I had one time.
One of the
I'm not sure about the
wonderful,
practical
wonderful people in the
pause.
APA.
Did I?
Maybe
We believe this, right? I don't know if I was in the original, but I was
maybe every now and then say something personal to the audience. What I'm trying to say is, have you had that experience?
I never really did.
So, you know what I'm trying to say?
Did that a
You know what I'm
little.
trying to
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
I keep that my body talk, well, that happens all the time. I kind of shared my story, so I'm
Last fall. I did have him last fall. Yes. Yeah. Because he was going to take it this summer or something.
Computers are in the Bible. Eve said to Adam, do you want an apple too?
Wait. All right, wait. All right, so the husband says to the wife, when I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. You don't have to nag me about it every 6 months. Oh, come on.
Well, I am going back and finishing planting what I was planting. I have
What are you
garlic.
planting?
I put all my garlic in, and now I have to do the bulbs for all my flowers that I just haven't had a chance. No, because the ground isn't completely
I
frozen.
just found out that you plant garlic in the fall. I didn't know that.
Oh,
And
you should-
And you harvest it in the winter.
Well, no, not really.
Early spring?
Most people plant garlic in the spring and then harvest it like in August. But if you plant it in the fall, it's ready in July.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's really nice, and then you leave it, you let it all dry, and then you keep it someplace cool. And I've been doing garlic for years, but it's great to do it in the fall because the garlic bulb is a lot bigger, and you just get so much more.
So do you plant
There
what
we
you
go.
grow?
I do both.
Oh,
I
okay.
go to the garlic festival and I get other people's that I like.
Did you go this year?
Yes, I went down the one in Saugerties.
No, I didn't see
Yeah, that's where we met. But I love planting garlic, and I like, and then you have to plant it a little bit deeper in the fall. And then I put leaves on top of my raised bed where I planted it. And then I put like a mesh so the animals can't dig through.
Oh, good idea.
And then in the spring, I uncover it, and it grows beautifully in July.
Very nice. What does garlic look like above the ground?
It looks like.
Or do the cloves grow above the ground, or you pull them out of like a potato?
No, it's
Like a potato, right?
Right.
It's under the ground, okay.
right. The garlic bulb is just like an onion,
Right.
pretty much.
So
an
do they
onion
look
bulb.
like chives or something?
Well, it looks like an onion coming up, the green leaf coming
Right,
up.
okay.
But then you have the garlic scape, which all of a sudden you get a harder stem that comes
Right.
up and curls.
Oh,
That
okay.
you should cut off because you want to give all the nutrients
Right.
to the bulb.
Okay.
So you cut that off and then you chop them and use them like chives.
Oh, okay.
They're hard, but if you chop them and stir fry
Saute
them or
yeah.
steam them
Yeah.
or something,
Sounds good.
they're great. And it's like a mild garlic.
Yeah.
You
It's a
can
good
throw
day
the
for
salads.
doing it. It's not so cold like yesterday.
Oh,
It was
it
so
was
bitter.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
day to do it. But now I have to.
November 13th, Monday, 2017, Anno Domini. A precious meditation in the middle of the night. I was lying on my back, and my fingers fell on my chest, and the tips of the fingers began to feel the heartbeat, the heartbeat, the heartbeat. And it's every second, it's every minute, it's every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, in 89 years. And then the meditation came that here is the fulcrum. The heartbeat is the fulcrum upon which rests the entire superstructure of your life. Is balanced on that heartbeat. Do you remember it? Do you recall it? Do you thank it? Do you appreciate it? Do you realize its importance and its mystery? When does it start? When does it start in the fetus? And when does it end? Hi folks, it's November. It's the third week of November, the week before Thanksgiving, and the week that we have to post by the precious United States mail about 4 programs each to 47 TV stations. But you know, in the middle of the night last night, something happened that I wanted to tell you about. I was lying on my back, and my hands fell on my chest, and all of a sudden 8 fingertips felt a heartbeat. And the afflatus was, that heartbeat is the fulcrum, folks. It is the fulcrum upon which your whole superstructure rests. Just on that heartbeat. That whole superstructure of you rests on that heartbeat. And I wondered, do we realize that? Are we thankful for that? Do we appreciate it? Do we understand it enough? Do we give it its glory? The mystery of it? The mystery of it, folks, where it begins and where it ends. When does it begin in the fetus? When does it end? That heartbeat. It was a great night of meditation, and it was an exhilarating day because of giving so much time to Debbie and to Chapin and to Mindy at the Sand Lake Library. It was exhilarating because it was helping, and these people needed it, and it was given. And the right decision was made. You come home at 4 o'clock totally exhausted. Not you, but someday you. And you come home, and so the first thing you do is take off the dress clothes and you go to the bathroom and you wash. That's very important. Wash your hands, face, particularly your nose and eyes and mouth. And then you come and you feed .com. She doesn't like to eat alone, so I eat with her. What did we have? We had Progresso, creamy mushroom soup. Any soup, she likes to lick the can cover, the inside of the can cover. So she was, Progresso has a large can cover, so she was a long time licking that, and then I heated up the soup and had home-baked bread with it. And then we thought she would like Morningstar Farm sausages. And I used to like them too, but they're no good anymore. They're no good. Morningstar sausages are no good anymore. And I don't think, maybe Worthington Food makes them, but they don't come through the Seventh-day Adventist Church to me. So that was all. And the party continues for a couple of more days, and then we go back to saintly eating. No desserts and no candy. But the right decision was made as soon as .com was taken care of. 5 o'clock. And the body couldn't stay up anymore. To bed. And into bed until 5 o'clock the next morning. That's how long it took to rest up from that exertion. So as I've told you many times before, you know you're getting old when it takes you longer to rest up than it did to get tired. Well, anyway, those were superb medications. And remember, meditation beats medication. now, you remember the 2 minutes I told you how I send them to people? I send them to you. I sent it to .com, and she was noticeably better. 2 minutes of your own vitality, of your own life, of your own hope and sweetness and goodness. 2 minutes, no thinking of yourself. Hard to do, but I'm sure you can do it. You start out at 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. You work on it, you can do it. Last night, it was up to 4 minutes. That's a good lot of power to send somebody, to give them the impetus, just to get them over the hump, just to get them started, just to let them begin to see what the right way is. The right way is no self, no me, no my, no I, no separation. The right way is we're all together, one, helping others, moving the universe forward, keeping it going and growing. Okie doke, let's get down to business. Let's see if we can read the blessings of yesterday. The first thing you do is God meditate Him in prayer. What's the meditation? The meditation was about the heartbeat. The meditation was about sending moments of your life, moments of your vitality to somebody else to get them started. And what is the hymn? Faith of our fathers living still, in spite of fire, dungeon, and sword. Oh, how our heart beats when we hear the word. Faith of our fathers, holy faith, we will be true to thee to death. We will be true to helping others to death. Will we not? Will we not? Okay, the very firm foundation of the day. Get up and get that body ready. Get it washed and cleaned and dressed and looking nice, and get it ready for whatever call that comes your way to help. That's the joy. And then get that spirit ready. The joy journal, make sure you make a record. Keep that record. It's sanctified. And then God meditate Him in prayer. The prayer is to you. That you go alone. Alone with that spirit, alone with that soul, alone with that God inside of you. And you touch it. And you realize it. And you do it. No more self, no more ego, no more evil. No more, what are those horrible words? Abandon is unrestrained, unrestrained what? Self what to ego? No, self to evil. And dissolute is utter laxity of morals. And a prodigal is the throwing away of all restraint. And reprobate is complete insensibility to reproof. And we're through with all that. And to abase is to cast down or reduce in rank or office or estimation, to degrade, to debase, to humiliate. We're all through with those things. We don't want any part of those things. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a nice word. But these are very instructive. Okay. That was the faith of our fathers. The glorious word, we will be true to thee till death. And that's when that heart will stop. You really don't know when it begins, do you? You really don't know when it's going to stop. Isn't that an interesting mystery? Blessings of yesterday. After you do God, meditate Him in prayer, you think of the blessings of yesterday. Well, certainly helping Debby Holden, and she did a good job, and I can help her some more. She was nervous, and there's no need to be nervous when you speak before a group. I think I could speak before a group of 10,000. Well, more than that. Yankee Stadium holds, what, 50,000? Oh, yeah, more than that. And not be nervous. Why? Well, because I spent so many years talking to God. And you can't get a bigger audience than God. So I could maybe teach Debby that. And then Chapin, the good she did me and the good I did her, that was lovely. And the car that her neighbor loaned her, thank you, neighbor Ellen. And then Mindy at the Sand Lake Library. Mindy, Sand Lake, what is that? And how she went to library school, wanted to be a librarian. When she was a little girl, she would assist in the library, put away books. And she'd grow up to be a librarian. Isn't that a nice story? And the beautiful countryside up there in Averill Park and Sand Lake and West Sand Lake and Tarburton. Beautiful countryside. Oh, it's so nice to look at it and ride through it. The earth, the water, the air, the light, the gravity, the electricity, the magnetism. That is you. Okay. All right, I'll hearken to you in a little while. The four fruits: orange, apple, grapes, and banana. And my banana shake, I think, is better than Stewart's by 10 times. Why do you say that? Well, it's very simple. It's a banana, it's soy milk, it's a little bit of brown sugar, and it's vanilla flavoring. And it's thick, and I think it's better. And we're still having a party. And .com is well, very well. I really kind of think that when I sent her 4 minutes of myself, my vigor, I really think it made her feel better. And for Franklin's job, and for the money that he sends down from heaven every month, and for Gregory, and for our standard blessings, the universe, born, alive, and healthy. These are your standard blessings every day. Say them with me, please. The universe, born, alive, healthy, food, clothing, a home, freedom and independence, no catastrophes, finances, education, your careers, your jobs, your house, your spouse, your wife. Okay. The bedroll, got a nice comfortable bedroom with 4 foam rubber mattresses. Very comfortable and good for your back. And on top of that, those polyester cloths that I bought 10 or 12 of them because of just the fact, folks, that you have a thread on a spool and it's woven and something comes of it. It's a cloth. That is enough to excite wonder, but the fact that they can take this cloth and stitch it and it fits you so well. Socks and blouses and gloves. My goodness, look at the work of making a glove. I never get tired of telling God how great God's stitching is. The computer, telephone, these are the blessings of yesterday, Sunday. Go ahead. Tell me yours. Purification, dress up, making the video for you, Glendora Soul to Soul every Sunday morning, fast until noon, and then it brings us around to where we started with our friend Madeline Chapin, who's always good company and who always gets lost, hopelessly lost, lost. But always corrects it and gets there. Okie dokie. What's next? The jokes. The doctor who said to the patient, I have bad news and very bad news. And the patient says, what's the bad news? And the doctor says, you have 2 days to live. The patient says, well, what's the very bad news? I forgot to tell you yesterday. So I think we covered everything. The Bible passage, by the renewal of your mind, to find out what is good and acceptable to God. Who is God? God is helping others. What is good and acceptable to God? Isn't it easy? Doesn't that make things very clear? You know who helping others is. You know what it is. You know when you've done it, when you know when you haven't done it. Alrighty. What was that? That was Romans 12, right? Verse 2. Was there anything else to tell you? The weather is 36 today. 2 or 3 days ago it was 24. Have you been out? Oh yeah, 12 good deeds at least up on the porch. Somebody put recycles into the dumpster. I took them out, I put them on the asphalt. I've got to go up sometime and fit them into the recycle tub. And then there's recycles in the dumpster that are too far down and too heavy for me to lift out. So I got to find me a good strong pair of arms to lift those out and make sure they get to the recycle tomorrow. Fed the birds up on the Time Warner wire box. They didn't eat the last spread, so maybe we won't feed them up there anymore. Put the sand over the wall. And the laundry room is very good shape, very neat and tidy. Feed the birds 4 cups of bird seed and a whole loaf of home-baked bread. It looks good enough to eat. And put out the compost and the deep grass in the back of the garage to enrich the soil. And bring you 10 pieces of grass, of which you ate 8. Why, that's very good. Yeah, that's very good that you ate 8. Okay, what's next? Put 2 jokes up on Facebook, and then make 4 of the best programs, the best videos of October, November, to send to Robert Jackson, because he's going to take that master that I send him of 4 programs, and he's going to send it by computer to 14 TV stations. So you want them to be the best. I don't know if the best is any good or not. And then clear all the video off of the Canon camcorder and all of the video off of the JVC camcorder, and make an archive of that, put it to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and then make sure that some TV station gets all of it, or half hour. In other words, make sure that all the footage on the camcorders gets to a TV station to be seen. And that is for February and March. And this week we have to mail December, January. Okay? It's the footage of September, October, to be posted in November, to be cablecast in, that's wrong. That's what's going to be shipped out. This week is December, January. Okay. It's the footage of October, November. No, it's the footage of November, December. Nope, it's the footage of October, November, to be posted. Nope, it's the footage of November, December, to be posted January, to be cablecast February and March. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May His face shine upon you and give you peace. Amen. Find the way. And I'll send you strength and vitality to do that.
Hey, Glendora, it's Tom Dogger. Call me back when you get a chance on my cell, though. 516-304-0847. Again, 516-304-0847. Thanks.
I did.
End of message. To erase this message erased. Next message. Glendora, it's Suzanne. I think you just called me probably about 10 minutes ago, 12:30. It's Saturday. We had canceled the thing for today, so I hope you remember that we did. Anyway, if you want to call me back, it's okay. I'm right here. Whatever. I hope all is okay. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
I did. Everything's okay.
Message erased. Next message. Hi there, Glendora. This is Barb. I'm just calling to see how you're doing. And we're doing fine. Okay. Bye-bye.
She's the miracle woman. She died on August 2nd, 2016.
To erase this message, press 7. To send a reply message erased. Next message. hi, Glendora. I got, it's a new name, A-L-T-I-C-E.
About Bergen County.
Anyway, it's
New
regarding
Jersey.
your chat with Glendora.
It's all right.
Running from October 1st,
Just ignore it. Everything's
2017
fine.
to March 31st, 2018.
We're all set. There's nothing so difficult they can't make it difficult. I mean, there's nothing so simple they can't make it
I don't
difficult.
understand this, but anyway, call me back when
I'll
you
call
get
her
a
back.
chance.
It's all right, Betty Ann.
Please deliver your program on before November 10th.
Thank you
I
for
don't
doing this.
understand this at all. This is for Tuesdays.
It's okay.
Now, wait a minute.
It's okay, Betty Ann. Everything's flowing.
This is for Monday from 3 to 5, beginning November 13th.
Yep, that's
All
right. Monday, 3 to
If
5.
you want,
2-hour program in
copy
addition
this
to the
letter and mail it
half-hour
up to you.
program.
I'm not sure.
It's okay, Betty Ann.
I don't have anything here for Thursday. That ended
Thank you for taking
September
care of it.
30th.
It's all
So
done.
I'm not sure whether
It's all
I
done
should
until
keep a
February.
copy or what. All right, call me.
Yep, I
Okay,
will.
thank you. Message erased. Next message. Hi, Glendora. It's Gloria and Helen. I hope you're not going to be too disappointed, but we're not going to be able to make the function today. So we won't see you at 1 o'clock.
Shame on you, Gloria and Helen.
If you want to call us later, you can. Have a good day.
Don't you love it how they ruin your day and then they say, have a good day?
Message, press 7.
I didn't
Send a
really
reply
ruin the day.
message, press 8. To save it, press 9. Message erased. End of messages. To listen to you, pound.
Hi there, folks. You know, the Pope has to be very careful he doesn't get the bird flu. He could get it from his cardinals. This Swedish construction crew got a job to refurbish the apartment on the 4th floor. And at the close of the day, the foreman came around to put everything away for the day, and he hollered up to them, "Hey, are you guys finished?" And they hollered back, "No, we're Swedish." Hi there, folks. I have a friend named James Dickson who lives in Manhattan, and he's doing very interesting volunteer work. And I've asked him if he will share it with you. James, how are you this morning?
Fine, Glendora.
Yes, tell us about your volunteer work.
Volunteer work. Well, I'm retired, have a lot of spare time, so I'm a big believer in, trying to give back to the community and, pass your blessings on. I'm a healthy, young, 60-year-old man.
Well, those are all very good things. I'd like to have you say that again. You're a great believer in what?
Great believer, and I guess my blessings from my higher power, God, and I'm happy that I reached that. And I believe it's important to pass it on, your blessings. I mean, my health and strength, and so, to pass it on, try to make the world a better place.
Good for you. Good for you.
I'm a believer in that. So as I'm volunteering, so I, looked around at various sources in my community and tried to get involved in something I figure I could contribute to, previously I've been involved in a boys club. I used to volunteer there, twice a week, and anyway, this program, I don't know, I guess it's okay to use the name of the program. Is that
Why,
all right?
sure. Why not?
Yeah, it's called Lily. I'm not sure where I heard about that. Maybe I saw a notice that they were looking for seniors to sort of visit with other, I guess lonely or, seniors. And so weekly we would go visit with them for like an hour and sort of be like a companion. Sometimes we might
That's nice.
Take them out shopping. That was one of the programs I got involved with beside the Boys Club.
You said the name of it is Lily?
Lily. Trying to, and I forgot what it's. Damn it. Trying to look up what that stood for, but it.
Well, it stands for helping others.
Yeah, I love them like that. But yeah, it was started by this retiree, the lady that started it along with another senior person.
And this is in Manhattan?
Yeah, it's primarily located here in Manhattan.
Is it all of Manhattan, or is it just your neighborhood?
No, not my neighborhood. It's lower Manhattan, like well, actually, the person, the senior I volunteered, well, I guess what they do is they try to, like I'm a volunteer, I happen to live in Upper Manhattan in Harlem. So I guess they located me, this person.
Oh, I see.
He was in my area.
Yeah, your area. I get it.
Other people who may be downtown, I would think they'd be assigned them someone in their area.
Sure, I get it. Yeah, And then, don't you go to, what is it, Step Up or Step Up, what is it, 11 Steps, what is it?
That's, well, I've been involved in, they have a thing about publicizing it.
Oh, they don't want to publicize it, okay.
It's a 12-step program, that's all I'll say.
Yeah, okay, sure. No, all right, if they don't want to, well, at least that sounds like a good thing, too. Now, James...
Those organizations help a lot of people, and it's benefited me a lot.
Oh, good, we need that. Now, on another subject, James, what do you think makes a good actor?
What I think makes a good actor, I became interested in acting in high school, and so I've been at it a long time, in my 60s. I guess I'll get on again. I retired, for a number of years, but I'm pretty actively in it. I've been in classes, courses, but one of my initial mentors, who I feel really influenced me as an actor, once said, to be a good actor, you have to live a lot of life. Although, people like James Dean, he was very young. He was like in his early 20s, and he was considered, an excellent actor. So what makes a good actor? To me, good acting is to be authentic. You have to, whatever you do, you have to really feel it, really believe it. Like if you're going to murder someone, you can't actually kill the other person, but the technique, if I was playing a killer, is to really get in touch with rage, emotions,
Yeah.
So I think, to answer that question, I think to me, to emotionally try to really feel whatever it is, if you're playing a love scene, to maybe really get in touch with love. Maybe think about someone you were in love with, not the actress, but
So yeah, to live the part. That's awkward.
I don't know about live it, but it's more like emotion. So like I'm not living to be a murderer. I'm not going to be a murderer, but I'm talking about to get in touch with the anger, the rage. I had a part where I'm supposed to be a raging killer. My technique would maybe to get in touch with rage, I'm not to really kill the actress or the actor, but I don't know if I'm articulating that correctly, but I think, or you're supposed to be in love or whatever I first tried to get in touch with my emotions, or like prepare for the part by really going back to feeling love, when I was in love, to get in that mood, and then I substitute the actress for, say, that person that I was in love with 10 years ago or something,
Yeah. Now, why is it some people make it big time and some people are never recognized?
number of reasons. In my career or coming up, there's a lot of actors who are very much better than I was, like when in my studies classes. There's a number of reasons. I think many of them, some of them don't really pursue it. They're people. I'm one who I'm not really a great actor. I guess I'm above average, I guess. But I'm not a great talent. But one thing about myself is I'm really aggressive. I get out there. I came to New York with $90 in my pocket, a one-way ticket from Louisville, Kentucky. To be an actor.
From Kentucky.
From
Kentucky.
Yeah, from Louisville, Kentucky. Muhammad Ali, Dinosaur Year, 60 Minutes. Yeah, we put together some Dinosaur Year, 60 Minutes. But Tom Cruise was there for a few years. And I worked on a film with him. Was that one about the Way of the Worlds? They did a remake of the starring Tom Cruise, and I met him. I told him, hey, I'm Louisville, and, shook my hand, and we talked a little bit about Louisville. Anyway, with him, I got off my train of thought. Well, we were talking about, what was that?
We were talking, why do some people make it and the others, so many don't?
I don't know. I think it has a great deal to do with luck. A number of things. I think this is my business. Somebody once said that it's sort of like a lottery. Because, there's, 175,000 actors, they say, here in New York, if not more. But I was also saying, I kind of like about myself is I'm persistent. I keep trying. I think you can't, you have to make it, become famous, but I do get work, and I think, to be persistent and keep out there, and I'm very aggressive. It's never really happened to be really big.
Okay.
There's been others, because, I've studied a lot of biographies of famous people, and many of them just, it's something that just happened, like people discovered them,
Yes, right. Yeah. It really is a matter of circumstance.
Like you'd be a great talk show host and you're a talented, but, hey, how come the world didn't acknowledge you, So I think it's something like the lottery, like we all stand in the line to buy our ticket. Some of them may buy 2 tickets and hit the $1 million lottery, and others will buy 20.
Yeah.
And they might win $100,
Yeah.
Right. So, I think it's in God's hands or something.
Yep, I think so. I think so, James. Well, listen. Anything else that you wanted to talk to Glendora about?
Well, I enjoy your program. I enjoy your friendship of a number of years.
Yes, a number of years, James. I can't really remember how many, but I think it's back to the 1980s, don't you?
No, because I came to New York back in '88. I was here in the '70s and last. I came back to the
'90s.
I think maybe '90s, late '90s, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's a good long time.
Yeah,
That's 27 years. That's 27 years.
Yeah, I think I've done your show before. Did I do one of your another telephone interview a number of years ago? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, it was very good.
I have it on my DVD.
Yeah.
I look at it once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. All right.
But so you, I know you started off with Mr. Bob Hope. Did you, or you were around?
No, I met him a few times.
You worked for him for a while, right?
No, I didn't. No, I never worked for him. I just saw him in passing. No, I had no long relationship for him. I saw him at NBC Hollywood when I worked there. But no, it was just in passing 5 or 6 times.
So what inspired you to, because your show, you did the talk show, is quite long, haven't you?
You mean it quite long? In what way?
I'm talking about not the Glendora show, but I mean getting into being what inspired you or got you involved in being talk show hosts?
Well, it really goes back way before that, because I was in broadcast TV doing a children's program. And that started in 1954, so that was at least 20 years before the talk show.
Wow. Well, these days are youthful. I mean, you know, we're both, well, I'm up there years.
Well, I'm up there much farther than you are.
Yeah, but you have the well, I don't know, the energy slung down that many people around your, our age or your age, they're retired in that rocket chair, but you're very active. So what's your secret? You pass on to us.
Oh, the secret.
To help us, stay youthful and.
Well, the secret, of course, is that you do what you're created to do, and you find out what that is. And as I told David Letterman, you find out what that is, and you go out and do it. And it's not a matter of retirement; it's just something that you do all your life.
How do you find that out? I've often heard that.
How do you? Well, you go alone. You go alone, and you go by yourself, and you take a pencil and something to write on, and you say, what have I created to do, and what are the things that I can do well, and what are the things I can't do well, and what do I have to contribute to the world? I'm different from everybody else. In what way am I different? In what way am I better at things than other people are, and what way am I worse? And you find yourself. And then you just go out and do it. And if you don't do it, it's going to nag at you, as I told David Letterman, all your life. It's a matter of going alone and touching the God that's inside of you, the soul. Because you are better at something than somebody else is. You really are. That's the way God works. It's not a matter of conceit or a matter of pride. It's a matter of fact. There is something that you can do better than anybody else.
That's true.
Yeah, so try to find out what that is. I didn't find out until I was 23 years old. And that one thing that I was told to do, I've done all my life. And that happens to be television, by the way. Well, I hope that helps you.
Yeah, food for thought, because I've always, I don't know, maybe I already know, because like I said, my artistic feelings, I never quite finished high school, but I've always had this feeling, about artistic, to be an actor.
Yeah, you wanted to be an actor.
And I actually, like I said, just came here and became one, so I guess I'm doing what you're saying.
Yes, I think you are. I think you are. And pursue it to the best of your ability.
Yeah, I definitely have done that. Still not quite up there with Tom yet, but we're still, at least, keep climbing. We keep getting up.
Yeah, right.
Keep getting up.
Well, James, I think this was a nice visit. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too, Glendora.
Yeah.
We talked all day long, but yeah, it's always a joy to,
Yeah.
talk to you, and of course your show. I hope I pass some thought on to some kind of positive, inspirational,
Well, I make it a point to call you every week, James. Yeah, I make it a point to call you every once a week.
Appreciate it, very honored. Wow.
All right, and where are you going Thanksgiving?
I don't know. I'm planning on going down Hill Christmas. So
Yeah, Christmas.
Probably go with some friends. I'm going to call my cousin. I have a cousin nearby. I don't know. We might get together.
Yes. Okay. Well, whatever you do, give thanks, James. Give thanks for you have many blessings.
Yes, I do. I do that every day. Yeah.
Oh, good for you. I do it every hour.
Every hour? Oh.
Yeah. Well, listen. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Glendora. It was a joy.
And I'll talk to you again next week, James.
Okay. Have a great day.
Goodbye, my dear friend. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and may His light shine upon you. Amen.
Amen. Same to you, Glendora.
Thank you, dear. Bye-bye. We have to keep his name before the public, don't we, folks? And that's what we were doing today. There we are. Okay. So onward we will go, and we have to make 5 more telephone calls, and then we're going to go make programs for Robert Jackson, who's going to send them to 14 TV stations by computer. With God we go to spread the joy of life. We win each day the happiness of love. We count our blessings. We give thanks. We give joy. Stop the cruel. Stop the cruel. Good morning, JBC. Camcorder, good morning, everybody. Let's do our... Did you do your joy journal? Did you list the events of yesterday? What were the events of yesterday? How are you? Okay, the joy journal is done and up to date as of 7:15 a.m. on the 14th day of November, as the sun seems to be farther and farther away, as the earth seems to move away from the sun toward the farthest point of all time of the year. But it's nice, folks. It's the long, long, dark nights of November. It's a time when you can get all your work done and then sit and meditate and get in touch with the source. Is the source so far away from you? Is it as far away as the earth to the sun? No, my dears, it's right inside of you. Your toaster oven is not working properly. Yeah, and your steaklets are not hot enough. So we'll have to wait just a little while, okay? You had your ice water, your spring water. You know, last night, .com got under the blankets. And that's the first time she's done that in 2-3 months. Yeah. So little kitty is doing okay. All right, let's go to work. God, meditate, hymn, and prayer. What's the meditation? Do you know what to do with life? Do you? How do you know? There's something inside of you that tells you, right? What's that something inside of you? Page 50, 11:14, Tuesday, 7:20A. It's your soul, isn't it? Your soul tells you what to do. What's the voice of your soul? It's your conscience. Did you do what your conscience told you to do yesterday? I was told to get up and get ready for the day and get the happy house ready for the day, and take care of the little kitty cat, and get the spirit ready for the day, the mind, the brain, the thought, the soul. Love helping others with all of your heart, soul, and mind. Then you have your brain and your thought. And go upstairs and do those good deeds on the porch. Yep. Somebody had put recycle in the dumpster, and it was in there, lodged in there so deeply that I didn't have the strength to pull it out. There were 2 pieces, but I got out about 6 or 8 pieces. Nobody has put the recycle bins up onto the curb yet, so it looks like I'm going to have to do that. Are you talking about yesterday or today? Today. And what else were you supposed to do yesterday? Do 10 telephone calls. In fact, do all of Sunday's calls and Monday's calls, did you? Nope. Why not? Because I was doing something else that conscience said, which was to make 4 half-hour TV shows, the best that I could find in the 18 archives of September, October, and send them to Rob Jackson so that he could send them by computer to 14 TV stations that do take the program by computer. Did you get that done? Well, I got the dubs made, but I didn't get them wrapped. That's all right. You have until Thursday to wrap them. That's when we go post them. Did you do anything else? No. I fed the birds twice. Fed the animals twice. I baked them bread. I'm all through doing vegetarian meat, potatoes, and vegetables. I don't do them well. I don't cook them well. So the fourth thing we're eating will have to be something else. Is that so? That means you're all charged and you're all ready for the day? Just the way we get charged to get ready for the day, you're all ready for the good you do, Android. You do a lot of good. Do you have to do 2 jokes on Facebook today? Yep. Tuesdays and Wednesdays. What can I do to help you? I know one thing I can do to help you. I can send you powerful waves. I think they're like electromagnetic waves. I can send you powerful waves and use minutes, no self in these minutes, nothing for me, and give it all to you. I can do that. I can do that up to, last night I did it up to 5 minutes. 5 minutes of reconstitution to you. 5 minutes of energy and vitality and love and care and happiness and joy. I will send it to you. When .com, I didn't think .com was very energetic there for 3-4 weeks. So I sent her pure minutes of love and hope and health and vigor and vitality. And she responded. She's much better. She's like the .com, the regular .com. When the oven dings, I'll get up and give you your steaklets with your nutritional yeast. What time did you go to bed yesterday when it was dark? There just didn't seem to be any energy, just enough energy, that much energy to go out and give the birds a loaf of bread. It's Ezekiel bread and it's sesame, and I don't think it's good tasting bread. For me, anyway. They will probably like it. And I gave them 3 cups of seeds. And I took out the compost. What's the compost? You put it in the deep grass behind the garage to enrich the soil. And we bought a turnip for Thanksgiving to make sure we'd have one. Guess what? With all the brutality that poor turnip went through, hacked and knived and cut, guess what? There's a green sprout. And that turnip is going to have a pot of its own and soil of its own. Excuse me. Let me write that down on Gregory's list. Potting soil. And it's going to grow. And it's going to have its family the way it wants to. Is there anything else you want to say? Or you want to think about? Or that you want some impetus for? You need a new hymn? How about jokes? Well, one joke. The robber at the bank robber said to the teller, "One peep out of you and your geography." And she said, "Well, don't you mean history?" And he says, "Don't change the subject." And so my prayer is, right now, I will send you 2 minutes give them entirely to you, take away all self. Are you learning to do that? Are you learning to go 5 seconds without any thought of yourself? 10 seconds? 15? A minute? 2 minutes? And send it to somebody? I will do that now for you. And that will be my count blessings for 8 a.m. Okay. Was there anything else to tell you? The weather's quite mild. 36 degrees for November. Last week it was 26 degrees, and that was like November. No snow so far in November. And that's been true for the last 3 or 4 years, I think. Or did we have snow last year in November? You should go back to the 2016 year and review all those blessings. Okay. I'll have to go get the timer. And time 2 minutes for you to help you get over any hump. Nearer, my God, to thee. What's that mean? It means nearer to helping others. Nearer to thee, I would be one with thee. One with thee. With what? I will be one with helping others. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Still, all my song shall be nearer, my God, to thee. Nearer, my God, to thee. Nearer to thee. Let's get nearer to helping others today. Will you help me, please? I need all the help I can get. So send me those 2 minutes of vigor and reconstitution. No, send them to somebody else. I'll do what I'm supposed to do, I'll do it.